Good morning. Some of you may recognize Mr. Depp from seeing him portray characters such as Edward Scissorhands or Captain Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Today, his name is associated with a lie, a man who would violently abuse a woman. By choosing to lie about her husband for her own personal benefit, Amber Heard forever changed Mr. Depp's life and reputation. And you will hear him tell you the dreadful impact that it has had on his life.
Well, you will hear expert testimony that none of these photographs are the originals, and many are stored in an editing program. So they could have been manipulated and cannot be confirmed as authentic. She became so violent, in fact, she threw a vodka bottle at him. It severed the end of one of his fingers. You'll see pictures of Mr. Depp's severed finger. And would donate the entire settlement to 2 charities, but then she did not make the donations. Quite simply, Ms. Heard had publicly cast herself in the role of a domestic abuse survivor. There was no going back, and she has been preparing to give the performance of her life in this trial.
She didn't want the paparazzi, the press photos. She got those, of course. Who wants to be photographed with a bruised face walking out of court? She didn't want that, and the evidence will show that. Facing this lawsuit brought by an obsessed ex-husband hell-bent on revenge. That's why she's here. Johnny Depp's reputation is in tatters. His career is in free fall.
The evidence in this case, simply put, is overwhelming and compelling. There are many, many, many photographs, and they cannot discredit one photograph. Then she says, oh, and it's got a photo editing thing. Well, all iPhones have the photo editing. It's where you can make it a little lighter or darker, you can move it to the center or not. That doesn't discredit the photographs, and they show bruises, and they show cut lips. They show hair pulled out of her hair. And he's slamming the kitchen cupboards, and they're glass, and you can hear them rattling, and you can hear them breaking. Then he goes over with a big glass of wine, and he has a huge bottle of wine, and he pours more in there. And then she says, did you drink all of that? And then he sees that she's videotaping him, and bam. That's going to be a pretty graphic one for you to see. One of them in Australia, at the end of the 3-day hostage situation, you will hear, apparently Mr. Depp turned on Ms. Heard's iPhone. She was never allowed to have a password, by the way. He would never let her do that during their relationship, but he must have inadvertently turned it on. There's 5 hours of audio tape. It's during the cleanup of all the broken glass and the liquor and the urine and the blood stains and everything else in that house. That's the list of medications he takes in one day that they prescribe. That doesn't include the cocaine. It doesn't include the ecstasy, the MDMA, the mushrooms, and all of the others. And she laughed. And he up and slapped her. Now you see the rings that Mr. Depp has on hers when he slaps. And she was stunned. She had no idea what to think. And she kind of laughed, thinking, well, maybe that was a joke. What just happened? And he slapped her again. And then she just froze and just looked. And then he hit her again, and this time it knocked her right off the sofa onto the ground. And she remembers her face was in this dirty, filthy carpet. That's what she remembers and fixated on, the dirty carpet. And she's thinking, oh my God, I have to leave. He wrote the 3rd day as Amber comes out after she's barricaded herself and gone through a lot. And she comes out, he's got mashed potatoes spread across the top. He's written along the wall of the staircase going down. Then he's written on the lampshades downstairs. And then he's got more on the mirrors. And then, on top of it, you've got all the broken glass everywhere, and you've got the liquor everywhere, and it's just, and then he's tried to urinate messages to her. That's the Johnny Depp. That's the other side. Amber will testify about how Johnny would get so drunk and so drugged out that he would vomit all over himself, and worse, lose control of his bowels. She would clean him up. He rips off her nightgown. He has her jammed up against a bar. He has dragged her across the floor on the broken bottles and the liquor. He has punched her, he has kicked her, he tells her he's gonna fucking kill her, he fucking hates her. He's pounding at her, and then he penetrates her with a liquor bottle. That's the Johnny Depp that you're gonna hear about in this case. And she said, you know, she's almost half his size. So he, you know, she said, if I pushed him, he doesn't move. He pushes me, I go flying across the room. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp. Do you think that she ever would have wanted other people to see her bruises and her cuts? This was what she used. She became very adept at it. You're going to hear the testimony from Amber about how she had to mix the different colors for the different days of the bruises.